First thing we need to do is to create our 1 Newton weight, and we do that by putting an empty water bottle and the cap on the scales after zeroing it and filling it until it has a total mass of 102 grams. Then the next thing is to subdivide the scale between, for the first up to 1.5 newtons into fifths, and we do that using the instructions in the manual. The first experiment we will do is to hang the water bottle from the spring scales and adjust the pulling force upwards until the spring scales read 0.5 newtons. And then at that point record the value on the mass scale. The next experiment is to suspend the water bottle using 2 strings, and using the angle guide make sure that the one of the strings is horizontal and that the water bottle hangs 90 degrees downwards, and then the other string has an angle of 45 degrees to the horizontal. Record the value on the spring scale at that point. Repeat the experiment, but this time we will be measuring, we put the spring scale on the angled string, and once again use the angle guide to make sure that one of the strings is horizontal and that the string that is at an angle is at 105 degrees to the string from which the water bottle is suspended. Record the reading on the spring scale at that point. In the next part we look at a simple pulley. The pulley is hung from the top hook and the string is passed around the top of the pulley. One side of the string will have the spring scale and the other side, the 1 Newton mass will be attached to it. By pulling on the scale we can move the bottle up or down. Take the readings when the bottle is just moving upwards and when it is just moving downwards. Take the average of the two. Ensure that the bottle is stationary at the average value. In the last experiment we have the moving single pulley. Here the pulley is at the bottom. Here's a detail to see how we accomplish that. On one side we have the spring scale and the other side of the string is attached to the top hook. The string wraps around the pulley as shown, and the 1 Newton weight hangs from the eye of the pulley. Pull on the spring scale and record the tension when the bottle is just moving upwards and when it is just moving downwards. Ensure that the bottle is stationary at the average of those two readings. And that's the end of the experiment.